Hi. In the previous lesson on singleton, we have seen how to create a class so that in the application there is going to be only one instance of this particular class. What we did is we made our constructor private, then we have created one variable that can hold the controller object, and we are creating one object of the type controller, and then using a static method we are returning the same instance of that class every time get application controller method is called. So here are the examples. We have called the get application controller static method multiple times, and every time it is returning the same object. So that is a singleton, a class which should have only one instance of only one instance. That is singleton, right? So now we are going to look at the concept of enumeration. Okay. What happens in case of enumeration is that just like singleton, but with a difference, a class can have a fixed number of instances. For example, let's see a class called color. It's a public class. Then it has four fields, RGB and color name. So we are passing color name and RGB values to the constructor. In the constructor I am just printing a message saying that constructor is called. It will be used later, but for now let it be there. And we have a method called get color name, so that we can call it from object, and toString method so that I can print these objects in a readable way. So in the main method I have created 5 instances of this class with the different names: green, blue, white and black. Okay, now as I said, in enumeration what we are dealing is a class with fixed number of instances. So let's say this color class can have only these 5 instances with these values, basically with red, green, blue, white and black. There can't be any other instances of this class. There shouldn't, at any given time there should not be more than 5 instances, and those 5 instances of this class should be unique, and they should have red, green, blue, white, black properties. So how can we do that? Just like what we did in singleton, to make sure users or programmers can't create multiple instances of this class, we will make our constructor private. That is the first step. Then what will we do? Because users cannot create objects, the 5 instances of this class that we wanted, we will create it in this class itself. So they are going to be public static final color red color. Because it's a final, I can just use the capital letters, and let me get it from here. I'm going to create remaining 4 class fields as well. So I'm done with creating these 5 class fields, 5 class objects. Then instead of calling the constructor, what we are going to do is we are going to just use .red. So it is similar to singleton, but in this case we are having 5 instances, not one instance of the class. Okay, so if the users create variables again or object references again, to get this red color, all they have to do is call or use this existing object or existing instance of the class. So by doing this, we had make sure that there can't be more than 5 instances of this class, and all the 5 instances are unique. They are singletons on their own, right? Okay, so this is a particular concept, right? I mean, the class is behaving in such a way that users cannot create objects on their own, and there are going to be only a fixed number of instances for this class. So Java treats these kind of classes in a different way. So now I'm going to convert this class into an enum. So enum is a special kind of class where the instances of that class are present in the class definition itself. So that is what enum is. So let me change it to enum. Then what do we need to do? We don't create an instance of enum in this way. We have to do it in a different way. So I'm going to comment them. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is going to be private, that is fine, remaining everything is fine. So let me create those instances the way they should be created. So this is the way we create instances. Instead of calling the constructor, when we convert it to enum, we are going to directly give the name of the instance and the input arguments for the constructor. Okay, so if there are multiple instances, in this case 5 instances, we separate them by comma, and last one should have a colon, semicolon. So let me copy these values here. So this is how we create enum instances. So this is an instance of type color. This is an instance or object of color, type color. So there are 5 objects and these are going to be fixed. Here we don't need to make any change, so we are going to use them in the same way how we used before. Okay, so now we have only 5 instances of this class, and these 5 instances are unique on their own. Okay, now because we changed it to enum, compiler is going to give us some extra methods so that we can loop through those particular instances of those enum. Okay, how do we get them? So we call color dot values. It is going to return an array of color objects, so we can print all of them. If we run this main method, we are going to see all those 5 objects, but constructor is called this 5 times. When is this constructor called? Okay, so we didn't call new. So when is this particular constructor is called? Let me comment all this. So I did not access any of these instances of the class color. Let me run this again. I'm again getting all these constructor calls. When are those constructors calls happen? So basically whenever the class called color or enum is loaded into program, all those constructors are called and all those 5 objects are created. So you can refer them whenever you need by doing color.black or color.blue. So that is a special kind with enum. You don't need to call their constructor. Basically whenever this enum is loaded by whenever it is loaded by runtime environment, all the 5 instances of this color are created by calling its corresponding constructor. That is first thing. Okay, also we have seen that compiler will create a special method called values. Okay, is there any other way to create not create, to access these instances of class color. Okay, so actually there are two more ways to access that, access the existing instances of the class color. Let me show them. Let me show it to you. Okay, I'm uncommenting this, then I'm creating red color 2. So in now I'm going to use a class called enum dot value of color dot class. I have to give the color class, then I have to give the this red method name, actually that is going to be in capital red. So this is one way of creating, one way of accessing existing instance of the class color. Okay, so enum and class kind of interchangeable. Enum is a special kind of class with fixed number of unique instances. Okay, what is the second way? Third way. In this case we are directly using color dot value of red. All these invocations like color dot red, enum value of red, color value of red, all these three expressions are going to return the same existing instance of the class color. So let's check that. So here you can see same. So all these expressions, color dot red, enum value of color class red, color dot value of red, all are returning the same existing instance. That is about accessing the instances of those classes. Okay, so this is a complex way of explaining. I chose a example that is complex in nature to illustrate or to make a point that enums are nothing but classes. Okay, enums are converted to classes, and they can have constructor, they can have methods, and basically they can have everything that a class can have. But the only thing is they will have all those instances created before. We don't create those instances. Whenever the class is loaded, those instances of this class are created. Okay, next, if it is similar to class, can it extend another class? Extend, say, employee? It can't do that, because when we say enum color, it is a special kind of class that is already extending a class called enum. Sorry, it already extends a class called enum. So this is a subclass of called enum. Okay, but we even though extending enum, we can't write extends enum. Okay, that is it. That is the thing. Okay, can it implement any interfaces? Let me choose an interface called mouse listener. And let me implement all those required methods from the interface. Okay, as you have seen, it can implement interfaces, not a single interface. It can implement multiple interfaces. Okay, that is one thing to note about enum. Enum is already extending a class called enum, and we cannot write that explicitly like enum color extends enum. We can't write that, and we can implement any number of interfaces just like regular class. Okay, we are going to continue the discussion of enums in the next class. We covered most of it, but in the next class I'm going to give you some very good examples of enum. Those examples won't be as complex as this one. They are going to be very simple ones, and also they are the ones used in new java.time package. So that lesson is going to be very useful. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe, and if you are benefited from these videos, please share these videos with others so that they will be benefited too. Thank you for your time.